Kudus transferred his frustration from national duty to club match.
I think it was called for.
No, never. Because see, it was a deliberate act because he was involved with two different players.
Hello, a pleasant welcome to the Our Media Review podcast on the Our Media channel on YouTube. My name is Josiah. We're taking a look at some of the games that were played across Europe. Some of the games happened in the Premier League where Liverpool were at Anfield and they really lived up to expectations after beating Chelsea by 2-1. Chelsea nearly giving them a scare after Nicholas Jackson equalized and Mo Salah, after Mo Salah had actually scored for Liverpool. But then it was Curtis Jones who was making his first start for Liverpool this season, who got them the most important goal to get them all 3 points, which means that Arne Slot has only tasted one defeat since joining Liverpool after replacing Jurgen Klopp. Not just that, but also at the Vitality Stadium, the home of Bournemouth, it was Arsenal that succumbed to a 2-0 defeat, which is quite shocking. And also, they had a man sent off in that game. That's Saliba, arguably their best defender in the last 2 or 3 seasons. And that tells a lot about Arsenal and their title aspirations. But then also in the Spanish La Liga, a win for Barcelona, 5-1 win over Sevilla. And then also Madrid traveling all the way to Celta, beating Celta Vigo by 2-1. So we have all these to talk about on the Our Media Review Show. My name is Josiah and I've got 2 gentlemen in the studio to help me with the analysis of famous faces, if I should, of regular faces, if I should put it, like Courage to my right, and then also Abatiga Mauli to my left. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
I hope it was a good weekend.
Yes.
Atiga, it was a good weekend. You enjoy the games in England, and
yeah. Especially the United game.
What's your take from that game?
Well, I did enjoy it because it's been a long time that United did go behind and then come back to win. I mean, you don't necessarily see that under Ten Hag, but against Brentford they were able to, go behind, and the courage, the tenacity for them to even, come back into the game is encouraging. So I did enjoy that game very well.
All right, Courage, your pick from the weekend, which game did you really enjoy?
I think the Liverpool-Chelsea match.
That was the game you were due to.
End-to-end stuff, yes. I really enjoyed it.
I think it wasn't a game that Chelsea should have won.
No, I don't think so. Sometimes they say class is permanent, but then form is temporal. I think the best team won at the end of the day.
All right, let's begin with that one first. Let me come to you. That Liverpool, Chelsea game and Slot still. That top manager, he came in to replace Jurgen Klopp. Everyone was thinking it was going to be a difficult season. It looks like they had a real deal this season, and if there's any team to challenge City to the title, it's likely to be Liverpool.
Well, I don't think so. Liverpool is going to be challenging Man City. I think we've got 2 teams that are in the prime position to challenge Man City. That is Liverpool, if they are able to maintain the momentum that they've got going for them currently, and then we also have Arsenal. But I am not a bit what's the name lost onto the fact that Arne Slot has come in. You see, what is really going on well for Arne Slot is the fact that he hasn't changed the setup for Liverpool. He hasn't changed from the philosophy or the idea that Jurgen Klopp has been able to instill, because it would have been very difficult for him to just come in and change something that has been there for the past 8-9 years. So he has just come in, added a bit of touches to it. The system is a bit the same, the personnel are the same, the intention is the same, to always play on the front foot. So that is exactly what he's trying to do. But at the end of the day, for us to say that has it got the ability to chase Man City down, that's going to be a long stretch, because if Man City are in their groove, I can bet you for the fact that there's absolutely nothing that's going to hand them down, unless they have skirmishes and rough patches along the way.
But you think Chelsea should have at least gotten a point from that game? There was a Sancho penalty that wasn't awarded to Chelsea. They felt that should have been a penalty for them. But on the day, I think they have played Liverpool and they deserve at least a point from that game.
I don't think so. Chelsea had their moments. They played very well, I must admit. Sancho's situation, I think, was a penalty, but then the referee overlooked it.
I think it was an unfair. It was an
similar thing happened
unfair.
at the other side. Mo Salah, Levi Cole's earlier challenge.
Yeah.
That was also a penalty.
Tosin Bioyo's
And then,
challenge on him.
Yes, Tosin's. That was supposed to be a red card because same thing happened during the Arsenal match Bournemouth game, and then we saw the referee flash a red card to Saliba. Yes, so the officiation was just 50-50. And then Chelsea, they lack experience at the back. This is what we've been saying from the start of the season, even during the preseason matches since the Brazilian legend Thiago Silva left. There's been a very big gap in the back that they are supposed to fill, but then so now none of their players have played up to that expectation. None of their players are able to take that leadership role at the back. So they end up considering certain primary mistakes that hurts them a lot. You see, they say attack win you games, but the defense wins you titles. So if at the end of the day you are scoring goals and then you are still considering same amount of goals, you are going nowhere. You are just going to be stagnant. So that the second goal was, a silly goal to concede, like from nowhere, because he just went in and then got a free touch. He was on the ball for about close to 5 seconds, and then nobody was even closer to him. The keeper got there, and then he just chipped it around him. So they shot themselves at the foot, and then it was a well-deserved lead for Liverpool, especially playing in front of their home fans. They just needed that point, and then they secured it.
Yeah, we are talking about teams that can challenge City to the title. I think Arsenal have got it. It looks like there's something missing. This is a team that went an entire season without getting a man sent off. And already this season, in less than 10 games, they've had 3 red cards. 1 to Declan Rice, 1 to Leandro Trossard, and then in that game against Bournemouth to Saliba. Yeah, it just doesn't look good for Arsenal.
It's not about it looking good. At the end of the day, you see, you are not going to have teams becoming rosy for you. I mean, you're going to have patchy times. You know, it is up to the hierarchy of the team. You know, especially the manager Mikel Arteta to come to press down. Sometimes when you are not getting the results that you deserve or the results that you think you deserve, nerves can rise. But at the end of the day, these are experienced players, players who have been playing at the topmost level. So it is up to them to calm their nerves. For yesterday, I think Saliba's red card was well deserved. Because he was the last man. But I have a bit of a problem in the interpretation of the rules, because if you look at what happened in the Arsenal game, it is most likely the exact same thing that happened in the Chelsea game.
Yeah, that you believe Tosin should have been sent off for that challenge.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
he should have under the normal interpretation of the rules. But you see, when you look at the close proximity of Colwell to what's the name, Dariobo, you realize that the proximity was that short compared to the proximity between Saliba and then Gabriel. So I think that it might be because of the proximity. But at the end of the day, Arsenal should be able to control the tempest. Arsenal should be able to control this. But even if you have a man down, with the quality that Arsenal has, I don't think that should have been a problem, because if you are playing against Bournemouth, and you have a man down, Bournemouth shouldn't have so much firepower to the extent that Arsenal was going to lose that game by 2-0. I think that yes, even if you're a man down, you need to show that you've got experience, you need to show that you've got a sport quality, you've got so much depth to the extent that you should be at least able to withstand the hospital that's going to come from the opposition team. So I thought that it should have been a draw, but to cast a doubt about the ability of Arsenal to challenge Man City to the fullest, I think that would be a problem, because Arsenal has the firepower, the technical ability to hunt Man City down.
Okay, you think so? This is a team that, in all the games so far this season where they've had a man sent off, they failed to win. That 1-1 draw against Brighton, where they had, wasn't Declan Rice being sent off. Then in that 2-2 draw against Manchester City, it was Leandro Trossard. And then they lost. This is the third time they've had a player sent off. But this time they couldn't even walk away with a point. You think they're indisciplined?
It happens, red card and
but 3 red cards, they've been handed the most red cards. These are the
moments that makes a champion. So you are supposed to squeeze result out of these situations.
But they are getting the player sent off almost every game they play in the Premier League.
It's something quite unfortunate, but they are part of the rules.
It's not indiscipline.
I don't feel it's indiscipline. These are situations that could happen to any player at any time. So I wouldn't say to say it's indiscipline is quite harsh on the Arsenal team in general. I think these are some situations they're supposed to endure. This is where they're supposed to show their pedigree. That's not we are on course to win the title. We need to pass through this. We need to go through this. But it's just unfortunate that they are not showing a real character or an attitude as a champion. So it will be quite difficult. Though it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So let's see what happens at the end. Maybe somewhere after the first round we could judge properly.
But then at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, there was this matchup between Spurs and then also West Ham, where we had our own Ghanaian international Kudus play in there. You saw that incident?
Yes, I think Kudus transferred his frustration from national duty to club match.
I think it was called for.
No, never. Because see, it was a deliberate act because he was involved with two different players. First of all, it was him hitting on the player on the floor, and then got up and then I don't know.
It was a slap. It was a slap. Yeah, it was a slap.
Practically slapped the guy, and then the worst part, he's going to miss very crucial games, including the match against Liverpool.
We should hold on that verdict, but first let me bring you in Mohammed Kudus. After a very frustrating week with the Black Stars, he goes back to West Ham in a game where he scores first, actually for West Ham, and you're thinking, oh, this could be an upset, and then they end up conceding 4. Now they are chasing the game by 4-1. And then he just commits that silly act, which reminds me of what Pepe did some years back.
The minutes of the game was almost the end of the match.
You remember that Pepe incident?
Yes.
Yeah.
Josiah, sometimes I am a bit old school, you understand? I thought that sometimes you need this kind of tension to the game. Don't let it be lost on you that that was a London derby, right? And you're not going to play a London derby without this commission. But
it warrants is that
I am saying is that what I am saying is that I am old school. You understand? And the kind of civility that we have in the games currently, I really do not appreciate that.
Are you kidding me?
I want a violent. That to me, that's not violent. We have seen the act.
He ended up,
we have seen exhibits of that in the past. You understand? I mean,
you don't condone it. You don't justify.
I am not saying that these are not violent. What I'm saying is that I am old school.
You've seen that?
We have seen it in the English Premier League countless times, right? So
have they gone unpunished before?
No, you see, what we are saying is that it's what he did justified. Is he a violent conduct?
Yes.
These are the questions that we are asking. You are saying that it's a violent conduct.
It's not.
I am saying that it is not. You understand? I mean, if I kick you on the floor and then you rise up and then
football is not allowed.
That's why it's football.
Kicking is not allowed.
If you don't want to be kicked, then go and play tennis.
Are you
understand? I mean, what I'm saying?
No. When you play football, when you kick,
it's an infringement on the
God, that is why I have a problem with me.
Even when you have your opponent on the turf, you end up kicking your opponent.
No, he was kicking to the extent that when he was kicking, that shows you the gravity. That shows the gravity. And then what was at stake?
What are you trying to justify?
No, I'm not justifying. I'm saying that it is part of the game. That is the deal.
That's why he was sent off.
He was sent off.
For what?
For kicking the guy and then slapping him. I am saying that it is part of the game. That is what makes derbies. That is what makes derbies interesting. I am not doing it.
But I don't think he was frustrated.
I don't think it's because of frustration. I mean, sometimes it's just the tension that boils over. You know what I mean? To the extent that you are losing 4-1. So, you might be playing very well. You don't really feel the essence of you losing. But for you to be, you see, the problem is that Kudus has been playing well, not necessarily to the highest standard that we have known him for. But the team generally is not doing that well. You understand? So it might be as a result of frustration or a bit of emotion. But at the end of the day, these are the things that build up derbies, right? Yeah. So it's like Arsenal playing against Chelsea or Arsenal playing against Tottenham. These things are going to pop up because these are derbies. It's
normal to have scaffolds and show
the back. I think he went of the deal.
Let's just admit that he went beyond.
He didn't just kick the person; he slapped him as well.
He slapped him.
The person squared off to him. The guy squared off to him.
What's this for?
Are you okay?
What is it? Are you crazy? Yes, I'm crazy. So I'm going to slap you again.
Come on, but you don't boot someone when the person is lying on the floor.
You should have kicked him.
There are rules governing this football game.
I'm telling you.
Like seriously.
I'm telling you.
All right, let's go. Let's quickly. No, but let's also talk about the Manchester City winning goal, which I believe we've all seen. Bernardo Silva obstructing play before corner is being taken. John Stones rising to head that one. Referee visits VAR, comes back to say no, it's a goal. You think there's been some inconsistency with the Premier League lately?
For sure, even with our earlier discussion, you see when we're comparing what's happened in Chelsea. Yes. So there have been a lot of inconsistencies. I don't know if, but there are interpretations to these rules. But I don't know if the implementation is somehow difficult or how every referee decides to interpret his own rules. But these are rules. It's not supposed to be something difficult. They are rules. So when something like this happens,
don't you require discretion? And that's where sometimes it differs.
And then the fact that the referee visited the VAR and then came back with the same verdict is somehow mind-blowing. But I don't know. Let me give them the benefit of the doubt. They know what exactly they are doing. So I don't know.
For us, you still think that goal should have stood, because we might get to match week 30, match week 34, 38. Then eventually look back and say, see, this goal shouldn't have stood, and maybe that's what aids City to the title. You never know.
I have personally have a problem with VAR. You understand? I mean, since its introduction, the actions of VAR is to curb this skirmishes, is to curb these problems, but it is rather compounded the issues. I personally think that goal should have been chalked off. That goal should not have stood, because the guy was clearly obstructing the goalkeeper. So in the essence of obstructing the goalkeeper, it means that he was actively involved in play. Yeah. And if you're actively involved in play in an offside position, then that should have been an offside, right? But the goal stood. I really do not know how the rules are interpreted. I really do not know what the rules are. But at the end of the day, we have watched football for quite some time for us to understand and appreciate that, these are rules that need to be interpreted well. You see, you look at what happens to, what's the name, Nottingham Forest last season, to the extent that they needed to take a referee consultant. So these are issues that are going to come up here and there. But at the end of the day, I think that VAR should be scrapped. I have said that continuously, because it is rather compounding the issue instead of trying to minimize the issue. So yes, personally, I think that the goal should have been scrapped.
All right, but let's quickly take a look at what happened in the La Liga over the weekend. Let me start off with you for Barcelona. It looks like they're not slowing down. So is that scare, that blip against Osasuna where they lost by 4 goals to 2. It looks like, whenever they come up against an opposition, then the least they score could be 4 or even 3.
What Josiah, we prior to the season starting, we were all having a debate about whether they're going to have a strong season or whether they're going to have a bad season. But you see, Hansi Flick has come in and then done something that I think that is a stark contrast to what was the name Xavi did previously last season. He's come in and then he's playing a kind of football that is not synonymous with Barcelona. He's not interested in holding the ball. He's not interested in, trying to play that tiki-taka. He's coming and the most important thing on his mind is to go out there and get goals. And that's exactly what you're trying to do. He's giving the players the freedom, the ability, the license to express their talent, instead of trying to, hold them and, keep them in a particular, circumference. But so you then realize that a player like Yamal, right? He's got a license to move forward. A player like what's the name, Lewandowski, has got a license to move across the front three. So every single player has been given the confidence to go out onto the pitch and not necessarily get stuck to a particular tactics or system, but to go out there and express themselves. And the game against Sevilla was a typical demonstration of what individual talent. You look on the day, and then Lamine Yamal was fantastic on the day. You could not even realize that he had just come back from injury. And to me personally, he was the man of the match. Not necessarily because he was not to say that, but on the day you realize that this is a totally different system compared to what we have known Barcelona for. And if should they continue on that tangent, I think it's going to be very difficult for Madrid to catch them.
Real Madrid also winning away to Celta. Kylian was on the score sheet with a beautiful goal. It set up an interesting Clásico, don't you think?
You see, prior to the beginning of the season, one funny thing is none of us were expecting Barcelona to match up the form of Real Madrid. But then it's turned around, and it looks like Real Madrid are rather becoming the lesser club, and then Barcelona are rather evolving. You see, Real Real Madrid had a very tough one during the weekend. Barcelona were just were in a devastating form. They just mesmerized Sevilla, shipped them mercilessly. I remember I did mention how Ferran Torres will be very vital to this Barcelona. Yes. Building up to the El Clasico is something I'm really looking forward to, because both teams play similar football. Nobody wants to keep the ball so much. Just get the job done and let's move on. Play 1, 2, 3 passes. Let's be in the opponent's half and then try and then score. Gavi is back. Pedri is working on his return, and then a couple of players.
Pedri actually scored in that game against Sevilla.
You see, so this will be a very, very interesting game. A few weeks ago, we have been predicting Barcelona win. Real Madrid win, like straightforward. But then it has become a very, very tough one. And then I'm looking forward to that game very, very, very much. I can't give a prediction as we speak now.
Right, so that's it with the review. You can also have your say. You think the red cards were deserving, but for Kudus, we're hearing that there could be even a tougher and a harsher punishment for him after he kicked Mickey van der Ven, the Tottenham Hotspur defender, and then also slapped Papi Matassa, his fellow African compatriot, in the face. I don't know what actually happened, but don't forget to subscribe to the channel and then also leave your comment in the comment section.